think about a sneaky song, I think the most obvious thing that comes to mind is like film music and even specifically soundtrack music for like spy movies and stuff like that. Pink Panther comes to mind, James Bond comes to mind, even a spy comedy like Austin Powers. And the thing I notice is a lot of it has sparse music. Normally there's like a solo instrument playing the melody, very sparse accompaniment. A lot of the percussion too seems like it leads up to like a moment where it's actually just like a singular note is held out, or like it's silence, it crescendos into silence. And those are all film and soundtrack approaches to making this music. So the one challenge is like, I want to make something that's kind of groovy, kind of jazzy. I also want to make sure I stay far away from like horror music or dissonance where it sounds dark and evil. I want to make sure there's a distinct line between like a sneaky feeling and like a haunted mansion type of feeling or an eerie feeling. I'm gonna make something grooving, percussion based. I'm just gonna go for it. We'll see how it works. I decided to start with a bassoon voice. Spy movies, sneaky movies, I always hear a bassoon. Very quickly, I realized that's not what I wanted to do. So I wrote a melody on bassoon, but then I changed it actually to glockenspiel and synth. From there, I kind of realized I wanted to have percussion intro. I didn't want to completely reject all the film stuff that comes to mind when I think of sneaky music, but I also didn't want to write like a caricature of one of those. I knew a few things. I knew it wanted to groove, I knew it wanted to be percussive, and I knew I wanted to have a melody that utilized two things to make it particularly sneaky. Both very wide space between notes, so far intervals, and very short space. So I wanted to make two melodies that kind of did both. Well, I don't want it to just be like a rock. I was kind of stuck. I started, before I knew it, I was writing a jazz tune and I didn't want to do that. Before I knew it, I was writing like a funk rock tune and I didn't want to do that. I wanted the melody and the harmony to make it feel sneaky. I didn't want to rely on the timbre of the instruments or the tone. So I chose a kind of like a slappy, like synth bassy tone, give it kind of like a modern feel, maybe even have some 80s flavor to it. And then on the opposite end, I wanted to have an acoustic piano. Honestly, I just thought it was very useful and kind of would ground the piece when there's like a lot of electronic sounds going on. So far, I like what I have. An intro that kind of sets up the two themes, and then an A section with the groove, the themes repeat. I think I'm gonna write a B section. Oh, that was cool. Whoa, wow. I'm actually gonna keep talking like this. I'm gonna write the B section, have another A, and then I think I'm gonna have a short outro. The thing I like about the James Bond theme is it ends ba-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-da-da, and it has those diminished ba-da-ba-da up minor thirds, do-do-do-do, da-da-da-da, holds that, and then ring, and it just kind of does that like real simple resolve. So I think I'm gonna go for something like that. Not quite the same, but I think I'm gonna use one of my themes to kind of give this abrupt ending where we just like suspend the music for a minute and then resolve it, but in a way that doesn't feel completely resolved. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, I believe I'm done with the piece. I will say, as this being the first week, really wish I could spend more time on this, but the whole purpose of this is to not make things perfect, but force yourself under a strict guidelines and a strict deadline to force yourself to be creative. This piece and any other is fair game to go back and make something new out of, develop further and everything. What I end up using for the lineup of instruments, Wurlitzer, and it's like heavily pan tremolo and heavily vibed out. It almost sounds like an organ or a rotary speaker. It's so vibed out. A square wave synth, that's only in the intro. Glockenspiel, which I mentioned. An orchestra kit where I just have some wood blocks hitting against each other. A drum kit, like a Moog funk synth bass in there. An acoustic piano. Other than the acoustic piano and the lead lines, synth bass, everything's programmed. Everything else I'll play myself. But with the challenge this week, I just didn't think a solo piano piece would do this any justice. I think to get that sneaky vibe, like having like a driving percussive thing that like has these gaps that like stops kind of, because it's like a spotlight, and maybe I'm being influenced by the films that use this type of technique or music, but it feels like, yeah, you're running, and then boom, spotlight.